Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Hello, this is Normal69 from the Depths Fuel campaign, and it's the sixth part. There is a secret fourth part, but that is another thing talked about later. So, we are here, and the Vulcan Inquisitional forces encourage heresy, so that's why we are experimenting with fuel. And there is a very good unit for experimenting with that. It's called the Ancient. It is children of the White Flayers, called Guillotine. Then Darko Nova made a still ongoing Nether campaign, and then I downloaded it with his permission and his interest and transformed it a bit. So what is still wrong with this unit? Lasers, energy management, there are problems with the underslung RAM module knocking off the terrain, and sometimes the two drones behind it, the Joybringer and the Curious Cat. The latter is a long-range radar satellite. The Joybringer is the owner of one of these cramshots arriving. And he's a little cute orcish robot upper quarters. So no legs, it tries to fly. And it is in the water because the energy management isn't set right. So keep as much as energy as you can, because all of my units are in the resource group 1, and hopefully it will have enough dedicated heliblade power to go up. But not really, maybe the inner jets are positioned too high. That could be the other problem. It's just because I say this because the blueprints are on the forums. I constantly refresh them as the campaign goes now. And if you have an idea for a modification with the engines and else, then I most heartfully welcome if you post those mutations for me too. So this is the Joybringer when it flies, a double advanced cannon, a cram cannon, and a little head cannon. And it's a long and middle range unit mostly. It can handle itself. Okay, it's no more beautiful than you could see anything. Okay, I need to examine those really bluish, white bluish shots, because I think those are the anti-shield EMP ones. I changed the sabot rounds to EMP. And now the laser must be more accurate. So let's have hilariously long barrels. We are compensating, yes. Good. Okay, now it's only a shell. And yes, those are graviton rams because we like cheese. But as you can see, they are really light ones, so no catapulting the enemy unit into the space or anything else. Just 50% spin and 50% thrust. But you can see if you download it. And in my defense, I think a lot of white flare units are using that kind of shell. Okay, I think it's still... Oh no! The shells from the left are from the Joybringer. Let's stop there. Okay, let's get home and just examine the settings. Where is it? I must remember. In the back. There was it? No? Okay, the battle has ended as expected. So I'm just seamlessly reverted to find the AI the second time. Good. So what if you leave the broadside at the same distance? I really wanted this ship to move like forward broadsiders, so go towards the enemy then stop, but I couldn't achieve it yet, so that is a needed modification for it, if you have the interest and the time. Ow! Now I'm trying to set it to an anti-shield one, but won't empty the feeding belts, so it will be a time till it changes. And I'm curious how inertial damage handled when a block won't break, but it suffered damage. How the game handles this? That would be a good question to my strange questions about the game mechanic topic into the forums. So before battle, let's collect some resources. Okay, one more thing about the flying ancient. Its horizontal movement pattern is it tries to keep I think 100 meters above the terrain. That is needed because the ACBs which handle the height are responding slowly to keep the ability for you to use the O and L key for manual height adjustment. Oh, what a little nice shark is here. Oh, I made a new word. Neat. So, but when an enemy is inside the 5-kilometer range, then it will spam the O key, so increasing slowly its height to the limit, to the max. So it could maneuver better in dry terrain. Oh yes, the missile spam. So I think the original ancient is cheaper and it has a lot of flaws. So disregard the seriousness whichever problems I said about the original ancient in the previous video. because this ancient has as much as problems in my eyes. As you can see, it's too fast for its drones, and it is good when the original unit facing the right way, but when the original unit is going away, then it points the little turrets backwards, and they flying behind it, so till they go beside the enemy, till that time they could only fire in the opposite direction. It's a little bit complex thing. Splash, splash, and it falls apart as a good shark should when it hits the ocean from 1 kilometer height, I think. Okay, the relations with the neighboring nations are whatever. Let's see the next combat. And just because the little drone, the little radar drone attached behind it, it has a good range of sight, I think so. So maybe let's see now the combat from our unit's viewpoint. Yes, sometimes the cram under it can shoot its belly. That is another problem. No, okay. But it looks good, I think. So now the rotor blades in its behind should pull it back. And they're doing that. Maybe the jets are too strong, and I should switch them to ion drives. But then I need to repaint the whole unit because they are blue. Okay, and it is not an enemy anymore, so it goes down, as I told you. And the first going down is touching the ground, so in dry terrain that would be a disaster. But I devised this method the simplest way now, of course, maybe later not, to achieve some kind of height control and automatism at the same time. I am using Gladion's mods, so the base mod, the toolbox mod, and the spinbox on spinblocks, but I'm cautious about its integration because a great update is coming, and I don't know how the mods will be after that, because the one of the mods, the spin blocks on spin blocks and pistons, will be integrated into this game. So more Minecrafty thingies for us. Good. I wonder, would they integrate redstone? And for example, the roots mod? What I miss from this game, aesthetically and on the side of the feelings, is that this is a strategy game, although there is no cause, no real cause maybe, to build buildings, and that's why I'm experimenting with buildings. I tried one cannon emplacement on that mountain beside our resource zone, but it wasn't so effective. I just must make a building which has a horizontal docker and a lot of ammo and energy, and then I could install on it a lot of different turret caps. That is the idea. And there should be anti-missile towers and missile towers and what kind? Maybe laser. Definitely some advanced cannons. Oh, and maybe a pack or two. We will see. I will try to fortify my resources. Just like it would be in a real war campaign. In the fantasy world of Nether, of course. So I don't think we need realism in this game, as per se in Earth physics, but a balanced realism in a fantastic world, a fantasy world, in a science fiction world. And of course we are highly technologically advanced but have few materials and tools, so of course we would begin with boats. And the UFOs would come later. Okay. The unit was successfully kept outside of the range of these boats. And sometimes even the cram shots are connecting. The cram shots are really gizmoed, having a lot of fuses, armor piercing, frags, everything, EMP. So that is a bad thing when they connect, in a nutshell. Oh, it's just over us. I'm looking at its shields. So my concern is every shot, every shell damages 8 points into the shield, and would they add together and disable it or not? Because if that is the case, it's absolutely worth a little turret to spewing this kind of bullets. Sorry if I doesn't comment on the battles, but I consider you able to see the battle. I hope it's not a bad thing. I like intelligent watchers. And as always, I need to practice my English. So, is it end, my friend? No, the video would be too short at this point. So, let's go east and see our neighbors. Because till I'm mulling around, they will reinforce those square. That square. Kill. I don't know how you like to play strategy games, but the best part is when I'm already everywhere and keeping a little reservation for my friends or enemies. I usually excel at sudden fortifications, especially if we could use some kind of stealth. Oh, by the way, another component which make false detections or prevent strategic radar detection, maybe not from near, where the line of sight already there, but at night time or just by strategic radar detection. That would be a good expansion, or want. So we could find one more enemy. What else? It's a kraken. I'm terrified. Maybe I will comment on this battle. So let's flee that way. Behind the mountains, maybe the kraken will beach itself. Good. Let's see our would-be killer. That is a kraken, alright. So let's start the battle. Not the battle, the battle. Starting a battle is a good thing that weekend. And I still have time. Oh, and the right testicle goes up in flames. Maybe that was my own cram cannon, I don't know. Oh. Oh, my drones draw the fire. Good. Maybe you could go back into combat with one testicle. And I have absolutely no resources to repair myself, but yes, I have. Maybe from damaging the enemy. Yes. On the upper right corner, there are good big numbers. And of course, the steel explosion component is the biggest. Its big cannon on the top is a dual controlled anti-missile and anti-enemy cannon with big flak. So maybe that's why. Yes, the crams are connecting. I think the cram cannons are overpowered. They should be weakened. Not this weekend, but some weekends. Okay, it's still targeting the Joybringer. Why? It brings you joy. It's in its name, you know. Oh no, it's targeting me. The Joybringer went back for repairs. Good little drone. Oh, and we could actually see it. So it doesn't seem for me that the shields are switching off. Maybe now? Is that forward shield still there? Or not? I think not. There were a lot of cram shots too. And cram is absolutely fantastically overpowered. You haven't have to pound for long minutes on an already dead enemy. I think you could stop, maybe? It won't shoot you back. Okay, just hang around there. Good. Could I reach it? No, I won't. I won't. And I have experience for 100 years in this game, and no, I won't reach it. Yes. But we thought of a kraken. People? Wow. Oh no, this will be that problem I told you about. Yes.